So Electric State, Black Bag, and Novocaine. So let's start off with Electric State on Netflix. New film from the Russo brothers, who everyone knows. You know they did Endgame and Infinity War and Civil War and Winter Soldier. They've done and more some of their more recent stuff. They did Cherry, which I absolutely loved. Um, they did The Gray Man. Um, I can't remember what else they've done since. They've helped produce like the Extraction movies. They helped produce Everything Everywhere. So yeah, this is their first like I think their first movie back directing since Gray Man. Um, Basically, it's like a dystopian movie. The synopsis is basically like there's basically a war between humans and robots that goes down, and the fallout just kind of creates a dystopian society. It's very similar in my eyes to Ready Player One. I kind of got like vibes from that a little bit from it. Um, Millie Bobby Brown is the lead. Um, Basically, she loses her brother, and then this robot appears in her life that claims to be her brother, and she's like, "How?" And then she goes on this adventure to kind of get answers. Meets Chris Pratt along the way, along with a bunch of other different robots. Lots of robots, a whole lot of robots. They did not shy away from it. And I, for one, will say, regardless of whether we like the movie or not, I think the effects do look good. I think the robots, for the most part, look really good, and I think the voice acting was pretty through the roof too. You had who all did you have? You had Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie, Jenny Slate. Um, I'm definitely leaving out some. I don't know, but some good voice cast. And then you got Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt as the two like human leads going on this adventure to find the answers about her brother and this robot. And um, yeah, so I have not talked to you about this at all because I know you just watched it today.
Yeah, I saw
So
it today.
I would
Yep.
love to hear what you thought. It's obviously been getting absolutely review bombed hard,
Yeah.
really, really hard.
Yeah.
It's got like what? I think last time I checked, like a 19 on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah, it
which
was 19 on Rotten Tomatoes. For the critic score, I was actually looking at the uh audience score like as you were talking. Um but yeah, since yeah, 14% critic
14, my bad.
and then now my Rotten
Audience,
Tomatoes isn't gonna load. But yeah,
audience
no, real quick,
76.
huh?
76 for the audience.
Okay, so yeah, not I mean not terrible on the audience score. I'd say that's pretty good. That's a very wide margin. I think a lot of people were giving the hate to it because it was $320 million and you spent that budget to do a Netflix release. I can definitely see people kind of getting irritated with that. Why would you not do a theatrical release? Why would you not? Anyways, that's a whole nother argument. I agree with you. The effects of the robots, the voice acting, all the stuff like that. I thought that was actually really good. I was actually impressed. This movie gives me a District 9 vibe. I don't know if you've ever seen District 9.
Yeah.
Gives me a District 9 vibe. With Chappie and Ready Player One at the same time. That's kind of the vibe I get. So you can kind of see some of the inspiration, which they didn't confirm or deny. The only problem I have with this movie is I think it's very slow to start. It gets very slow in the middle, and you're like, okay. And I don't really like any of the characters. I like the robots, not any of the characters that are introduced, except for maybe Stanley Tucci has the most depth, but even then, he's just not a very good villain. Kind of boring, kind of straightforward. Um, None of the acting performances, human wise, were really spectacular. Kind of can forget about them. I really can't name you one that was even good. Unfortunately, Giancarlo Esposito was kind of bad in this movie. His character was awful.
It wasn't even bad. He just like it wasn't really him. Like it was his face on a
Well,
screen.
no, even then, like his character was awful. Millie Bobby Brown, I know the hate that she gets. She wasn't even the worst actress in this movie. She was not that bad in this movie. I've seen worse. Um, Yeah, I just it wasn't like I feel like the middle was a chore to watch. I don't think it was like I thought the robot war scene at the beginning was fine. Mr. Peanut being the robot's president was hilarious to me. But I did actually enjoy the last like 25 minutes where the robots actually got there and started fighting. But even then, like Stanley Tucci's character was just given kind of an easy way out when Mr. Peanut lets him out. Um, Chris Pratt had his Herman, right? Herman
Herman, Herm, yeah.
was his little robot. He dies, and then just to come to find out, he has a little version. Um, Millie Bobby Brown kills her brother from the inside. Yeah, I mean, it's just forgettable to me. I don't think there's anything from this movie I take away, and I'm like, that was awesome. The acting was subpar. The voice acting was good. Special effects were good. The story was lackadaisical at best, very lazy at some points, and very slow in the middle. And the human acting was just not very good. I'm not gonna sit here and trash it. Do I think it's a 1 out of 100? No, I don't. I think there were some redeeming qualities, but for the most part, it's just okay.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not anything crazy. And I texted you as soon as I watched it. Like I was like, obviously not near as bad as a 14 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Also not great. And the weakest part of this movie is the human element of it. Um, you defended her a little bit. I don't think Millie Bobby Brown is like very good at all in this. Um, I'm starting to wonder if she's really a good actress or
Yeah.
not, or if she just blew up because of Stranger Things. But
Yeah.
we're not going to go there. But I just don't think she's great in this.
I
I
really
don't
do
think
think the
Stanley.
worst acting performances are from Giancarlo and the little brother. I think they are really, really bad in
Yeah.
this movie.
I don't think Chris Pratt is that bad. I think he made me chuckle a couple times. He had the stupid, wig on, and then he gets a haircut or whatever. But like him and his interactions with Herm, voiced by Anthony Mackie, um, I chuckled a handful of times. Herm was my favorite part
Yeah,
of
Herm was the best part.
it was really funny. So yeah, basically she finds her brother. He's locked up. They've basically like kidnapped his mind to try to run this company. It's just very weird. I still don't even entirely understand
Yeah,
it.
they don't really explain it, and I'm wondering because it's based off a book. I would imagine the book explains it more, and then the way they have to kill him, and the way that Stanley Tucci's character just is able to leave without any like repercussions. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. It's
Yeah. And then like it just ends happily ever after. I will say like the final like 30 minutes I thought were great other than the Millie Bobby Brown and her brother stuff, but like the
yeah,
action, them meeting all the robots like in the mall and kind of, learning about them and where they've come from and um the robot stuff was sick. I
yeah,
really did enjoy that stuff. The human stuff brought this movie down a lot for me.
yeah. Agreed.
And I love Joe and Anthony Russo. They have some hits, but I think this is definitely one of their weaker ones. Um, I did not absolutely hate this movie. I didn't love it. I rated it a 6.3. I think it's just
Okay.
a perfectly fine, enjoyable, nothing great. I don't think it's unwatchable by any means, and I think you kind of have a little bit of a good time with it. But just honestly, the big thing that brings it down for me is like the acting performances. Nothing super memorable. What did you go with?
Yeah, so I gave it a 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. And I think I ended up, I didn't want to go to like a complete five. I gave it a 5.4. And the reasoning being, besides the humans being so bad, was the story is very lazy at times. Not stuff explained. And you spend a lot of money on this movie. The story has to be somewhat coherent. And I think sometimes it just doesn't know what it's doing. And some stuff is not explained. And I think some of all of the characters, especially the humans ones, are just uninteresting, not explained. I don't think there's really any chemistry either. And yeah, a 5.4 is what I'm going to say to that. Not my worst movie of the year, but definitely not close to the best. So
Yeah, this is not something that I think either one of us will ever watch again, but I would say like for a streaming movie, perfectly fine.
for
Uh,
$320
but
million
for 320
worth, it's
million
not.
dollars, I guess a lot of that went into the visual effects, which like we've said, we think the visual effects look good, the robots look good. Um, but you could have paid for better actors,
Could have.
um, or you could have changed the story up a little bit. I
The
don't know,
cast
but
is not even that bad. It's just the everything with the humans is bad.
yeah, yeah. But if you want to have just a good chill, kind of entertaining movie, throw this on. It's on Netflix. Anybody can watch it. Easily accessible. It's nothing spectacular, but it's not just god awful either. It's perfectly watchable. Um, yeah, screw all these people giving it like a one. You know,
Star one.
it's not that bad. It's got some moments. So, yeah, that's the Electric State, and now we're gonna jump into our two movie reviews that we saw in theaters.
Yes, sir.